Hi, it's Bridget. This is another audio with the Within series. Today we're going to talk about the mind. Oh, this is a complicated one, and one that I'm not real fond of recording about, but we will certainly allow it space. Resistance, sweet, sweet resistance. It comes when I connect with the mind. Thoughts can be your best ally or your worst enemy. Don't you agree with that? Self-sabotaging thoughts can derail you, take you off your path to success, question every bit of your worthiness. And yeah, that's not very nice, is it? Let's remember that the mind's goal is to keep you alive. It is always in survival mode. Even though there are multiple layers of the mind and the brain's development, it seems like overall we go into the extremes, the survival mode of all things. When we're trying to do something new, something scary, something out of our comfort zone, the mind says, no, and tries to catch you before you fall, like that toddler, that little child learning to walk, just exactly like that. It means well. The mind means well. The mind is not the villain. We will not vilify the mind. I will not do that. I do not think the ego is bad or negative. I think its intentions are good, but the application of the mind needs a little work. We got to finesse that. We got to finesse the implementation of the thoughts. And there's so many different ways you can manage your thoughts that you know about already. Obviously, you can do meditation to keep your thoughts more free-flowing and not feeling attached to them. That's what at least meditation does for me. You can use other kinds of tools like tapping or EFT to help your thoughts actually work through the layers of the negative thoughts into a flow state of more positive energy. So for example, those are two things you already probably know about if you're listening to this audio. So the reason why thought or the mind is so important is because it controls things. Like it really does command and control kind of a setup. And again, it's designed to keep you alive. So when we work with the mind in regards to our spirit or spiritual connection, or in regards to how we identify or see ourselves, it gets a little tricky because the mind only works in the tangible, in evidence, touchable, factual, proof type of energy. It doesn't understand so much creativity, which is closely related to intuition. It doesn't understand as much even imagination. Even the concepts of trying to manifest something that doesn't already exist, the mind always challenges it because it doesn't exist yet. It's not here yet. And when we step into an innovation, trying to implement an idea that we have, and it fails multiple times, the mind does not like the failure because it wants to keep you from having to experience the failure. It keeps you safe. Safe from failure is one of those defaults. The fear of failure is hugely connected to the feelings of worthiness and value. Let's breathe for a second. The mind piece is a tricky one for me. I think that may be why early on in my coaching practice, working as a psychic, as an intuitive coach with people, I always worked with people who had so much resistance, such analytical minds, people who are extremely highly educated, so smart, and yet they were opening up to spirit, to their own intuition. They were having spiritual experiences or wanting change in their lives, and they could feel that there was more. And I could relate to that so very much because I started off 15 plus years ago in that same space. But I always knew there was something more than just a job, and just that kind of mentality. That I was more than my job. My job wasn't going to just be the only thing that was going to define me, but it sure as heck felt like that. And that's a mind thing. definition of success, fear of failure. Does this sound familiar to you? So let's talk about, there's something, you've heard me, in fact, I have a playlist of some of my favorite Abraham Hicks work. It's on Fairy Grasshopper, my YouTube channel. It's a playlist of other people capturing channeling sessions that Esther Hicks does with a group of energy spirit guides called Abraham, which is like a group of energy that's like a God voice or universal wisdom voice. And brilliant. Esther Hicks is a brilliant channeler. I just have to say, it's amazing work. If you're not familiar with it, find out Abraham Hicks. But there's a powerful quote about the mind that was channeled by Esther from Abraham. And it is about a belief. So what you believe, right? Your beliefs. Ooh, that's a big word, isn't it? That a belief is simply a thought you keep thinking. A belief is a thought you continue to think. So if you want to change things, you have to ask yourself, what do I believe in? What do I believe in? And get into alignment with your beliefs and your values. But in order to do that, you have to find value within yourself. And the mind needs to be invited to the process within. The mind needs to be softened. It needs to be treated kindly. It needs to be shifted and changed gently. It needs to be invited to the table and included. If you make one part of you bad, your mind bad, that's not going to cut it. You're gonna be rejecting a part of yourself, so you can never be whole in acceptance. You're limiting yourself. So if it's a belief is a thought you continue to think. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Take notice of the things you think and actually say things out loud. Don't just think it in your head, make it loud. Say it out loud so you hear it, and then you'll realize maybe how ridiculous that thought is. And you then ask yourself, do I believe that? When you have a thought, do I believe that? Like when you're working on something, you're all excited about it, you're gonna share it, like you're doing a post on social media and you're like, oh, this is so positive, this is so exciting. And right before you share it, you go, wait. Your mind says, wait. Somebody's not going to like that and they're going to be mean to you. And you know that's going to happen anyway, right? No matter how wonderful it is. But you're like, do I really want to share that? Do I really want to put myself in that situation? Am I really, maybe this post, this beautiful writing that I did and this gorgeous photography that I'm sharing, that's my own. Maybe really it's not that good enough. Oh my God, maybe it's not that good enough. Maybe I think it's good and I'm excited about it, but it really sucks. And other people are going to tell me it sucks, and then I'm going to know it sucks, and then I'm going to feel really bad. And this is something that feels good to me and it's important to me, and I love this. I love creativity. Creativity is intuition. And I'm going to be rejected. I'm going to be made fun of. I'm going to feel bad. And I don't want that. So I'm just going to keep it to myself and not share it with anybody ever. Even though I know the reason why I was inspired to share this was because I know it would uplift other people, and I was excited about it. The feeling was so good. The intention is so good. And the power behind it is so good. And I'm stopped in my tracks by fear because I feel like I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not talented enough. I'm not enough. And other people are going to judge me. So therefore, I'm not going to try. I'm not going to do it. And the judgment piece and the critic comes from the mind. It does not come from your spirit. It doesn't even come from your heart. Your body is not a critic of you at all. The critic is in the mind. The judge is in the mind. So ask for more information. Really? Okay. Is it really going to be? Really? Is this really true? This is not who I am. Who am I? Why am I sharing this? Is this important to me? Does this feel good to me? There's something about the pause that the mind forces you to stop in your tracks. It's about worthiness. And if it's about worthiness, if it's about judgment or criticism, you know it's the mind. It's the mind kind of manipulating, let's just be honest, the energy of things to keep you safe. And to keep you small keeps you safe. The bigger you get, the more of a target you become. to the world according to the mind. And so if you stay small, you stay safe, which is not true. The smaller you get, the more miserable you are. The less room you have to feel good, to have a healthy life, the less expanded you feel, the less you can breathe deeply and open your heart, the less you can contribute to relationships, the less you can contribute financially for your family and for your own well-being, the less you have and the less you are. The smaller you become, the less. The mind, again, is not trying to be mean. It's not trying to be a villain. It's just an actor, a very powerful command and control type actor. So when there's judgment or criticism that comes up, investigate that. Find out what the information is underneath that. That is resistance. And resistance is fine. Take the emotion out of it. Resistance is fine. Do not let it trigger you deeper than already it did the first time. Ask for information. Go deeper. And then say this magical question. What do I believe today, right here, right now? Because the mind might be bringing up old memories of things where you have put yourself out there and regretted it. Oh yeah, we all have regrets. And felt bad about it. And even though your content was good and the picture was gorgeous, somebody is going to complain about it, no matter what. You can't please everybody, and that's not why you're doing this. You're only trying to please one person, yourself. And know that there is one person besides you that will receive that, and it will make all the difference in the world to their lives. And that's on you. If you know you can help that one person feel more inspired, more hopeful, and you don't do it, that's on you. That's on you. What do I believe today? Here and now, right now. And you get, guess what? Newsflash. Your beliefs change. What you believe about yourself changes as you change, as you grow. The same situation you wanted when you were 18 years old, when you were just out of high school, it's different than when you're 40, because your life is different. You are different. You've had experiences, you've had different kinds of educational stuff that you've done, and jobs that you've had, and relationships you've been in, and places you've lived, and all this different things, different diversity of experiences. You are different. So you're different today than you were yesterday. And thank God you are. Thank God you are. Because you are always growing, evolving, and changing. And that's why you came here as a person. You are a spirit in a body. And your mind is trying to help you be a human. That's why the criticism and judgment comes in. That's why the thoughts and the belief systems are present. Ask yourself, what do I believe today? That is the magic question. When you're working with your mind, that is. Whew, I think we did it. I think we survived this first little mind chat. Whew, it's one of my tricky areas for me. So I really wrestle with the criticism and the judgment piece, and I'm really hard on myself. I'm sure many of you are too, so I can totally relate to that, especially in our coaching sessions. So, I hope that we've inspired your spirit today and filled you up with some hope. Remember, it's your life, so live it. Just live it. Thanks so much for being part of this Within series. I hope you've enjoyed it.